Good evening,
I'm Wanda
and I'm Danny.
from Deep
Deep
South
South
Homestead.
Homestead.
Y'all come on in and join us and tell us what state you're in and what your weather's like there.
Yeah, there's been some wacky weather going on in this country, guys.
We're just curious.
We are curious about that. Let me do one thing right here. This is about to drive me up the wall.
He always does that.
I'm sorry, I have to do this. Okay.
The music well made it first, and Lou and Flutie Lit and Firefly Moon outside
Yeah.
the ridge.
Okay. That's a little bit better. I feel like
Red Duchess.
the way the camera was, I felt like I was sitting here looking down like this. I like to be able to look.
To me, it feels like we're like this.
No, we're not. We're okay.
Okay, so we got a lot of people popping.
Anyway, we were talking about the weather, guys. Literally, we have had some weird weather in this nation this week.
Kubota Acres says it's hot in Louisiana and the pine trees are sweating.
Well, I believe them.
Ours are too, probably.
I really believe them.
Seven Sprout says it's Georgia and it's rainy. I'm missing some. Papa Truck says Florida and hot.
Oklahoma,
Michigan,
hot.
Michigan 70 and raining.
70. Oh my gosh.
I'm missing some of them. They're flying by so fast.
Wow.
Oklahoma hot.
Texas is hot.
Overcast and hot in Georgia.
Kentucky 87 with no humidity tonight. Down to 65 tomorrow.
MD Maryland, I think, rain all day and night.
Wow.
Reuben finally made it on time. Southeast Texas hotter than a firecracker here and very dry. South Carolina hot and tons of rain.
Dale Folick, Northwest Mississippi hot with thunderstorms. In Northwest Mississippi, wow.
Hot and dry here. The chickens are laying boiled eggs.
That's pretty hot there now.
Arizona, rain this morning, which isn't when we get the monsoon rain. It's always in the evening. See,
everybody's saying the same thing with the exception of just a few of them. Hot and very hot. Hot, humid.
Hot in North Mississippi. Kentucky warm, but not too humid.
D says it's sultry.
It's always sultry in Louisiana.
Yeah. So we're
John
seeing
says
here
hot, humid, and sweating.
Now, Southwest Ohio, 68 and rainy.
My chickens aren't really even laying because of the heat. Ours hadn't been really laying very well for what, 6 months?
Gosh, it's been almost 6 months. Yeah.
And I've had to ration eggs for right at 6 months, and they should have really kicked in the spring, and we couldn't figure it out.
Yeah.
And a couple of weeks ago, we went to the feed store, and he was out of the regular laying pellets that we get, so we just upped it to the turkey laying pellets, or poultry.
Yeah, poultry feed.
It's the 22%.
22%.
And after a week, the chickens are all laying eggs. So the percentage in the feeds is not working.
Yeah, that's what it is. And after doing some research, I found out that 16% lay-in pellets is only what a chicken needs to be sustainable and actually live a healthy life. It has nothing to do with their ability to produce eggs. To produce eggs on a regular basis, the protein level needs to be up around 20 to 22%.
And yeah, and if you're feeding your animals extra protein and stuff, that's good, but I just guess mine was not getting it. We were giving them some weeds and stuff like that, but it just wasn't picking them up. But this extra percentage of protein has helped.
It just wasn't getting enough protein. That's all it was.
Loki Rob says still hot and dry. Monitor says it's 100, but it reads high, but not much off.
Well, Wanda and I checked right before we started the live stream. Our heat index right now, 106 at 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah, the heat index.
The heat index was 106. So, guys, this is part of the solar minimum. What we've been trying to, I guess, get across and to understand is it strictly has to do with extremes, literally. What was it, 2 days ago? All the planets are on one side of the sun, and they're going to be there now for, I believe it was, a 7-week period we found out. So we're going to have some really wacky weather, we know, for the next 7 weeks they're talking about. So
Utah said rain.
So we're trying to make provisions now for this wacky weather that we're having.
All right, Brenda says from British Columbia, Canada, been wet the last few days, going to get in the 90s next week. Hot for us folks who spend 7 months a year below zero. Wow. 7 months a year below zero, and they just be at 90.
That's a pretty big difference.
Flutie Licks at 58 this morning.
58?
Got to 100 the next day here. One morning. Okay.
Actually,
Danny's jealous of anybody that gets below 60.
Yeah, and if you get below 60, that's like a cold front. Jared from Flutie Lick Homestead, I saw your forecast next week is there's a cold front going to be dipping down. It's going to be running right down through the center of Alabama, and it's going to go all the way down to northern Florida and all the way up the East Coast. Y'all are going to have some pleasant, cool weather, they're saying, next week, while we sit over here and bask in the heat.
Wayne says he's in Pennsylvania, and it's rainy, but his Cherokee tans are finally blooming, and he has little ones.
Great.
And hello from
Mexico. We've harvested some of our Cherokee tans out of the cornfield down here where the grass is so deep. But up here where we have the Cherokee tans planted where the sun, in the bald open sun, a lot of those plants are just dying because they're baking in the heat. So
Joseph says his weather needs to be on crazy days.
Well, I can tell you right now, everybody's weather is crazy, and it needs to be on crazy days. Because, I mean, I'm sitting here looking at...
Haywire says it's 90 during the day and 60s at night. That's a 30-degree difference.
That will destroy the cell structure in plants. After talking to the guy that runs the nursery up here, he kind of gave me some insight on his greenhouses and cell structure and how all that stuff works. And this extreme fluctuation of temperatures is what's destroying a lot of our plants. Because here, Wanda and I got up this morning, it was 78 degrees outside. The wind was blowing. And we was able to actually get a ton of work done this morning.
Till right at 9 o'clock.
Till about 9 o'clock. Well, I actually stayed out a lot longer than that. But at 9 o'clock, it started kind of heating up. And we had to kind of start shutting down what we were doing and come inside. Because let me just show you. We're sitting here talking about it. Let me show you.
Answer this one right quick.
Okay.
The Cherokee Garden, how has it handled the extremes? So tell them a little bit about that, because we hadn't really showed you.
Well, the Swamp Pilot, our Cherokee tans that are in...
No, the Cherokee Garden.
Oh, the Cherokee Garden. Cherokee Garden was a total flop.
We got some corn.
We got some corn off of it, but it was little nubbin ears.
And we got no pumpkins.
We got no pumpkins, and we got no trailer beans. The first of what happened was the trailer ran up the corn. Well, when the corn was pollinating, it was too close together with 5 of them in a group. With our humidity, it just didn't work. So only if you look at the ears that I did harvest, one half of the ear is not pollinated, the other half is. Yeah. So the inside of the ear that was facing the inside of those corns where they were put in that circle did not get any pollination. Then came the extreme heat and humidity. We didn't have a spring. We just went from cold to hot. And when that happened, the squash bugs came in. They killed all the pumpkins, and we said, well, maybe
I managed to save one, but then I don't know if the squash bugs got it or this weather got it. It was blooming.
It was blooming, but it didn't do anything.
It just didn't make it.
And then the corn the ears tried to break down on the corn when it got dry, but because the beans was wrapped all around it, it couldn't, and the corn was left standing straight up. And we've had so much rain here that the rain's going down in the top of the corn. It's starting to mold it in the top, and I'm just having to just go in and tear the ears off of them and just strip the shucks off of them, bring them to the house, and try to dry them to salvage some of the corn.
That's where we can show those, because I do have that.
Do you have that?
The corn, yes.
Yeah, this is the White Eagle Cherokee corn right
I
here.
thought that was a blue.
Hold on. Let me see which
Doesn't
one.
the White Eagle have more white in it?
Which one?
This is the blue.
No. This is the.
Because this is on this side of the table.
What's on the side toward the fireplace is the White Eagle.
Okay.
Because this is a White Eagle. The Cherokee, the blue Mohican corn has round kernels.
Mr. John says his Trail of Tears beans have done good.
Ours have done absolutely nothing. The heat and humidity, all the leaves are just shriveling up, dying, falling off.
Never did bloom.
They never did bloom.
We just didn't have any luck with that.
Had zero luck with that. We were able.
Mama tried, so she did the Three Sisters, and it was a flop.
Yeah, the big time flop. I will not do it again.
Our humidity things just get together, and everything just.
Yeah, you've got to have the airflow here with our humidity. We checked a while ago. Our dew point was at 85%, and our humidity was at, what did I tell you, 75?
I don't know if you even told me, or I wasn't listening.
You may not have been listening. But anyway, we did harvest some of our pumpkins off of the bottom field down there.
They're turning.
We had to get them a little early because of the rats, but they are turning. It may be the only 6 we get this year. We don't know yet.
Okay, Rob said he's never seen a Three Sisters garden produce very good.
This was our first year, Rob, and we've never. Well, I can say after this year, neither have I. I'll put it that way, because it did not work.
Beth said, stick with what works. That's it.
That's what this year. We are going to be changing up our whole way of gardening this coming year. If the Lord's willing, if we can come up with enough money to purchase the things that we need to purchase, the new seeds that we're going to be using and stuff like that, our gardening this coming year will be completely different. We're not even going to do what we've been doing, because it's not working anymore with the weather like it is. But just to show you the kind of weather we're having here, I'm going to show you something. See my peach trees? It's so hot that all the leaves on our peach trees are actually turning yellow and falling off. And it's not because of a lack of rain, because we're getting rain every day. Today's the first day we haven't had rain in 15 days.
Yeah.
So it's the extreme heat, or either this tree thinks it's fall. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure what's going on with this tree, because it was perfectly dark green here just a week ago, and now it's all turned yellow. And if Wanda had showed you the ground is completely covered up with yellow leaves underneath it there.
And that's not the only one. The one by the house, by the sidewalk this morning, it's been pretty. The tree's been gorgeous. This morning, what started me noticing the trees was this morning when I started out, the whole walk was covered with leaves from the peach tree.
Yeah, the one by the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's out in the field, guys.
And so this one was, I mean, it was like the leaves just all of a sudden overnight just started falling off.
Yep.
And then when we got over on the hill, he noticed that one, so I took a picture of it. So the peach tree leaves are just falling.
Yeah, there's actually several of them on the hill over there that's doing exactly the same thing. She just took a picture of one of them.
Upstate New York's in a drought.
Let's see here. John said he got 4 quarts of rattlesnake beans today. Our rattlesnake beans, we're letting everything go to seeds, guys, because that's where we're at.
I didn't get a picture of that.
No, I didn't see it when I was scrolling through it.
I forgot. Rattlesnake beans.
Yeah, we're letting everything. We're in a seed-saving mode right now at Deep South Homestead, because I believe in the next month things is going to change drastically. So we've decided to go ahead and we've harvested enough stuff. We've got more this year canned than we normally do. So we are letting everything at this point go to seeds. Matter of fact, I spent a half a day today shelling red ripper peas for seeds.
Yeah, you got the pea seeds right there.
That's pepper seeds. Let me see.
Right there.
There they are. Okay. This is the red rippers here. I was shelling them out today.
That's only one of them now.
That's one batch of them. We've got what three batches, I think.
At least 3, if not 4.
Yeah, they're out on the handrails. Remind me to get them and bring them in tonight. But we're in the seed saving mode. We're trying to save
Ron
as many
Hendricks,
seeds.
He said he had a pear tree do the same this week, all yellow leaves and fell off. Okay, that brings us to pears.
Yeah, that does.
Start all the way at the beginning.
I got to start all the way at the beginning now. Hang on here, guys. I'm running the monitor here. Okay, this is me early this morning. I'm up in the bucket of the tractor because the tree is so high I can't reach any of the pears up in the tree. So I'm up there picking pears in my bucket on my tractor. Let's look here. Now I'm standing up because I'm having to reach the top of this pear tree.
And you still didn't reach the top.
No, I'm still another 15, probably 15 feet from the top of it.
Yeah, he had to just reach a limb and shake the top.
Once I got that high, I just shook the tree and they all fell to the ground. But this is the pears on the tree. We did lose some limbs because there was too many pears for the limbs to hold up in the top of the tree. That's the one that liked to knock me and Wanda in the head.
Yep. There's Miss Pam. How are you feeling today? I was thinking about you today. I just hadn't had time to go check on you.
This is some of them that we got out of the pear tree there. We have 2 different varieties of pears here. The ones you see on the far right-hand side is a very soft pear, and the rest of them is a very hard pear that we have here. But they all make great pears.
And we canned.
Now this is something I wanted to show y'all. Every pear we peeled almost looked like this.
The outside didn't.
The outside looked perfect.
Didn't show any sign.
Didn't show any sign of anything being wrong with it. Those pears were just as smooth as they could be. But that is what the inside of those pears looked like on every one of them we peeled. The only thing we could come up with is evidently some kind of insect had stung the pears and had left these marks, and these marks go probably a ½ inch deep in these pears. A lot of them do. So some of them go all the way to the core.
We're cutting a lot of it up. Now they don't look like they have anything wrong with them.
No, they don't look like they have anything wrong with them because I was peeling them actually
with the apple.
With the apple peeler, and
is that a pear or a peach? I mean apple.
That's an apple that's in it right now because we also harvested our apples this morning.
Yeah, that's the apple, but he used that to peel the pears too.
Yeah,
it worked pretty good.
It worked good. It's just that we
Mark says you have to really trust the bucket operator. Actually, Danny put the bucket up and climbed up in it. I didn't. I wasn't operating.
She wasn't operating. I don't trust the bucket operator.
He knew I would have threw him out.
So I lifted the bucket up and I can climb on my hood. I got a way to, my tractor has a system you can just climb right on up to the top, and I just climbed right up there and stood up in the bucket because I don't trust the bucket operator.
Yeah, he doesn't. So I was just eating. I was going to tell you guys, I hadn't done any videos on cooking lately because I haven't had time. We've been doing a whole lot of canning and all this. I mean, between pulling weeds and everything we've been doing, I've not had time to do cooking videos. But this is one that I will be doing, and I know it looks kind of weird. Kind of hard to tell what it is.
Yeah, you didn't get the whole cake. You just got the corner of it.
Yeah, but I want them to see what it looked like inside. It's not a cake. It's a pudding.
It's a pudding, yes.
And can anybody tell me what they think might be in this pudding? It's very sweet. The main ingredient. Just curious. If anybody guesses it right. I had a lady send me a recipe last week maybe, and a while ago when I was fixing supper and everything, I decided to try it. So it has squash in it because I'm going to keep looking for different squash recipes and see what it tastes like and all. And this one had, yeah, it looks like, it's kind of like a rice pudding. It tastes like it, only it has squash in it. And it was delicious. So that canned squash that you can't get anybody to eat, believe me, they'll eat this. It tasted really good. So I'm going to try and do a recipe. I'll cook it maybe next week if I get a chance. All Things Good got squash, about one of the first ones.
Well, somebody there said that was called a cotting moth.
What?
The pears, what happened to it? It's been bitten by a cotting moth.
Okay, we were figuring some kind of...
We figured it had to be some kind of insect stinging it.
Yeah, because the outside doesn't show any signs.
There's no sign.
The apples do. When something stings the apples, you get a little brown spot everywhere. So
we saw stink bugs on them doing that, though.
Yeah.
But the pears, we did not see anything on it. So we can't do anything about it this year because we got one more harvest to make off of them, and all the pears will be over with.
Yeah, we canned pears today, and we canned some apples.
Yep.
And
we are.
Yeah, Pam's saying it right. Squash is an underrated veggie. It does take on the flavor of anything you cook it with, and so you can take and add it in a lot of different. This was sweet, but I've used it in a cake. I've used it in squash puppies. I've used it in a dressing. There's lots of ways. A casserole. Squash will take on the taste of whatever you need it to take on, and you can use it as a filler in your soups and stuff like that.
Beth says, Danny, what are you going to do different next year with gardening? Actually, did I talk about that in my porch time coming up?
I think so, but
I think I did because we've already shot porch time, and let me tell you this: Tuesday evening, we have an All God's Children coming up because it's already been shot and scheduled. But porch time, Beth, will cover that, I believe, this week.
I think so.
I think so. We're going to talk about that.
We kind of talked about it a little at lunch the other day.
Yeah.
We're going to try and use the black plastic and the shade cloth and some of that kind of stuff and do a little bit different. And we're probably going to start some of it as soon as
we get the garden cleaned up here, we're going to get it tilled, and then we got some work to do on the garden. We're going to do some updating some things.
And then this one down here with the Back to Eden, didn't we put that up today? Yeah, if we put up Back to Eden, boy, people go crazy on us. We got all the mimosa weeds.
We did. We finally got them pulled. Now we didn't get behind the rattlesnake beans pulled. We only got.
Oh, that'll take about an hour.
That would take more than an hour and a half. Probably take another 2 or 3 hours to pull all
them. Because it's so bad behind there.
Yeah.
But we got all the front cleaned. The only thing left there is the rattlesnake beans on the trellis and the basil.
Basils.
And so I'm leaving the basil right now, but we're probably going to get that up, and we're going to rearrange that.
Yeah.
This week, I guess, probably.
No, we got the rattlesnake beans are going to stay there and produce as long as they can because we need the seeds.
Oh, cause you're going to wait till that comes out before you
wait till that comes out.
We're not doing anything to it. We're just going to see how long it takes those mimosa weeds to come back.
Well, if they do, we'll just they'll just get tilled in or whatever. I'm not sure what we're going to do.
Yeah, the mimosa is a pain, but it's easy to pull up because it's been wet.
Until it gets big.
Yeah. Until it gets wet.
When it gets up about 2 foot tall, you can't hardly pull that thing up out of the ground.
Nina says she's got to go. Good night, Nina. Now I'm getting hot again.
I knew you would, and I'd turn the unit down.
I know.
But anyway, we are, guys, with this solar minimum taking place like it is, we don't have a choice. Porch Time's going to talk about a lot of that this week. We're going to be sharing with you some of the things that we're going to be doing. I'm not going to do a spoiler alert now. I mean, I'll just go ahead and tell you the Porch Time's going to be dealing with a lot of these issues and what we're going to be doing, gardening issues and stuff like that. And
All God's Children kind of goes along
with it. Yep.
Yeah, and I don't know. What else?
Well,
sweet potatoes. We got one coming up on
sweet potatoes because we have dug some of them.
And there was something else.
Let's see. What else do we got going on?
We're going to go into your Gardening 101.
Yeah, Gardening 101 will be coming up this coming week. I think we're going to be talking about tomatoes. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I'm pretty sure.
Blue Ridge Prepper says his Danny corn is 10 feet tall. Wow, good.
Oh, Danny corn will go up to 16 feet if you just keep the fertilizer poured to it.
What would Delane wants to know? What would make a fungus grow on purple hulls?
Too much moisture and humidity.
Yeah.
I found the 3 by 300 rolls of ground cover at Agri Supply Store for $56. We actually found some. It's not the same as the Agri cover. It's just a black plastic, I think, but it was like 4 foot wide and 2,000 feet long for $95.
Something like
that.
Well,
so we're trying to make our mind up whether we want to go with the AgriFab or if we just want to do the AgriFab will last 8 to 12 years. The black plastic they said won't last but 2 years.
Yeah, Mark says they're gonna make major changes in their gardening methods. Well, with the way things are going, Danny and I are gonna cut back on a lot of our experiments. We've been experimenting with things to show you guys how things would grow here and all. That's fixing to go out the window.
That's fixing to go out the window. We're fixing to quit experimenting.
We've got to produce what we need to eat, and we've got to bring it more at home. We're still going to put our sweet potatoes on the hill. We're still going to put the Irish potatoes over there and the sugar cane.
And the sugar cane.
Because that needs minimum care usually. But everything else is going to be close to home. We're going to minimize the areas, I guess you would say. We're going to add another.
We've got to take, with our age and the heat and everything, we're not able to stay out in the heat like we do. In our garden this year, we're going to lose a lot of our sweet potatoes. We already know that.
Yeah.
The grass in them in places is like 3.5 feet deep, and you can't even find them.
That's been in less than 2 weeks.
Yeah, less than 2 weeks because of all the rain. So due to that and the heat getting like it is with the extremes, Wanda and I have to begin to start thinking about our health. So we have to think about easier methods of doing things that still produce lots of food. So we are going to go with the ground cover this coming year if God blesses us financially where we can afford it. And then we're going to do the row covers in the early spring and probably some sort of shade cloth or something to help during the heat.
Now, Lindsay says storms just rocked Kentucky and devastated her garden, and she's going to have to start over with a lot of it. So Kentucky was in that area that had that severe weather.
Yeah, Iowa got destroyed. I mean, there's some towns in Iowa I looked at a while ago that literally, they had like 25 tornadoes went through Iowa and just devastated that place.
What type of sweet potatoes do we grow? The Puerto Rican?
We grow the Puerto Rican Reds. We grow the purple ones now.
We got the purple ones and the white ones.
We got the white ones. We got the Triumph white, and then we just have a regular white.
I'm not sure.
And we have, we usually grow Beauregards, and I think that's the only varieties we've been growing.
S. Parker said, "Please pray for me. I had a concussion." Christy said, "I had to get my son to show me how." Oh, okay. I'm not sure. She's answering somebody else.
Yeah. Winters 86 said 27 tornadoes here in Iowa. It was scary. I was looking at some of the pictures I was seeing showed 2 tornadoes at a time, sometimes 4 tornadoes at a time, actually going across the ground. I was like, wow, this is the grand solar minimum at its best, y'all.
Yeah. And a lot of them are saying that they need to find a way to do things a little bit easier. We've thought about it and we talked about it this week. We know we need our English peas. We know it. We need our green beans.
Yep. English peas, green beans, Irish potatoes, sweet potatoes. We would like some squash. We'd like some okra.
Tomatoes, peppers,
peas,
and onions.
Okra, tomatoes, peppers, onions, stuff like that.
And we're going to do the generic. The
hybrids.
No, but I mean the basics is what I'm going by. We're going to do the basics.
Yeah.
We do want our pumpkins, and we're going to
we're going to still keep our pumpkins going.
We can survive on that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
If it makes, and we're going to try and use I guess, take better care of it in a smaller area. It may not be like 50,000 squash plants. It may be 10. But we're going to try to take better care of the 10 than the 50 that we had. And
yeah, well, our thinking is that we can do fewer plants if we take better care of them and produce more food, because it's killing us trying to take care of all this stuff in this heat.
And Papa Truck wants to know, are you familiar with the wolf minimum?
I've heard of the wolf minimum. I don't know a lot about it, I'll be honest.
Yeah, I've heard of it
lately. I've heard it mentioned in some of the stuff that I've read. It just seems that all of the stuff right now is pointing toward solar minimum. They're not talking much about a wolf minimum.
Yeah.
Courtney says that the heat's just bad for their health, and it is. And we're at that point. And this year has been our worst year. Yeah,
we just don't go out very often during the day. It's so, the humidity has it where I can't breathe, and I go out and do what I got to do and come right back in.
Our unit actually runs almost all day.
Yeah,
our electric bill just goes sky high.
It was $100 higher last month, but we were also canning a lot, so that meant between the canning and the unit. And we had to turn this fan on some, because with the canning we needed the fan on to blow the air through the house.
To keep the air circulating through the house, because the house just stands so hot in this heat. Lemon Pop says, moles are eating my potatoes. How can I get them out of the garden? I don't think it's moles. It may be voles, because moles, to my understanding, do not eat anything like that. So it may be voles, and if it is, they make vole traps. I know that.
Yeah, we saw those.
Now some people say you can use chewing gum. I mean, I don't know.
We've never had them, so I really don't know what you.
Old Alabama Gardener had a video up on getting rid of them, if I'm not mistaken. You might want to check his channel out, Mr. Charles. Let's see.
Oh.
And guys, this heat is destroying the crops that we have. We've had the worst gardening year this year that we've ever had.
But it's produced.
But we've produced enough
to can a lot.
To can a lot of stuff. But we had to work our fool self to death.
Over and over. We've replanted several different things we had to replant.
Yeah, we've replanted
We've had to go through with the weeds like crazy. We still didn't keep the weeds under control.
No, the weeds, we didn't near keep the weeds under control this year.
Plow as much as possible. He's hoed a lot. You fertilized. We've done everything we could to try and get. I mean, it's like we have been steady doing something with the gardening, where usually we had a little bit of space in there. And, and all of a sudden, it's like an early harvest on everything.
Everything this year is 3 weeks ahead of time. Wanda went out today. My muscadines are already turning.
Yes, the muscadines are turning. That's crazy.
We don't harvest them till like mid-August or after.
Yeah, but it started with the English peas.
Yeah.
And from there, once things just started skyrocketing, and before one thing was done, other things were coming in that usually we would have a week or two break in between things. Nothing's give us a break. It's like from one vegetable to one fruit to one something. Everything has just been early, and there's no stop.
There hadn't been a break this year.
So that's why we this week we've been kind of just chilled a little. We've canned some, but not what we've been canning.
Not what we were doing.
You know, we've had a lot of downtime, I guess, more this week than we have had. But next week we've got meat to can sometime, so we'll be canning meat again. And we've still got some pears to can.
We got pears to go. We got apples to go.
We're almost through with apples. There's
almost
not 4 or 5 on the tree. I think we're almost through.
I need to answer Delane. Delane said that he said his okra still is not producing. Well, Delane, I've got probably 300 okra plants out, and and I think I cut what 10 pods of okra.
And they're overhead high.
And my okra's 8 feet tall.
Yes.
And I might have cut 10 pods off of it.
Yeah, we're not getting okra.
We're not getting any okra either. So, my brother, I don't know what to tell you. Ours looks like the most beautiful okra trees you'll ever see in your life, but yet they have no okra on them.
Olin wants to know, is this the longest run of 100-degree days?
No, because
2 years ago.
2 years ago, my records show we had 100 days of over 100-degree temperature before it broke.
And I don't think we've reached that because
I
we've
don't
been
think
in the 90s.
Well, the heat index is what I go
going
by.
The heat index?
Yeah, what about the heat index? So,
because I was going to say,
because you might as well. I mean, it's that hot.
Yeah.
I'd have to really check my records this year to see how many days so far. But I don't think it's been 100 yet.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Everybody keeps saying it's 105 and resting at 97 right now.
Oh.
Let's see.
They're saying it's a lack of bees. We have bees galore.
Oh gosh, we got bees galore.
And on our squash, we had the prettiest plants 2 weeks ago. They were gorgeous. They were loaded in blooms. The bees were everywhere. I was out with.
Oh yeah, we were taking video of them.
They were just, and I'm thinking we're going to have a lot of squash. They went from beautiful 2 weeks ago till
They're
last
dead now.
week. They started just nothing. We got what, maybe enough to eat.
We probably got two
three
messes,
times?
2 to 3 messes off of them. Yeah,
That was it.
That was it. And that we're talking about 40 plants.
Yeah, and they went from beautiful 2 weeks ago to they're all dead now. Every one of them. And that's crazy. And the bees were pollinating them like crazy. 2 days ago when I was out there, they were still reasonable. And I said, okay, ought to have at least a good 10 or 12 off of them because I saw a little bitty squash. They're no squash. They just shriveled up and died.
They do. They
Everything
just shrivel up and die.
And the plants died. It's like either the sun or the water, the rain, something happened.
John, yes, I am very familiar with the blood moon. I keep up with all the tetrads that go on. As a matter of fact, I'll talk a little bit about that on the All God's Children thing coming up Tuesday evening. The blood moon is very significant. It's going to be the longest one this time in 100-something years. I think it's going to be like 140 minutes long or something like that, but it'll only be visible over Jerusalem or over Israel in that part of the country over there. We will not see it, but they will.
There was one I missed. Let me see. Let me see if I can get back to it because this chat runs so fast.
Yeah, we have to.
Somebody said they expanded their back to Eden Garden, and it's what they did is not growing.
Okay.
My apples are rotting from the inside out. Do you know why?
I know pears will do that because pears, and some apples are the same exact way. You have to actually pick them before they get ripe. I have a video up on picking pears. When you take a pear, you touch the top of it next to the stem, and when it starts getting soft right there, it's ready to come off the tree. And then you let it sit in the house for a couple of days and finish ripening, because if you let an apple or a pear a lot of times ripen on the tree, the core of it will actually rot before the apple actually completely ripens.
Yeah, and that was last year. That's not this year.
Yeah.
So look for how to tell, I don't even know the title of it, but
I forgot.
How to know when to pick a pear or something.
Something like that. It's on one of our videos though.
Yeah. And I see Jonathan Nuthouse made it.
Homestead in the Pioneer Way says the hotter the summer, the colder the winter.
That's possible.
That's possible. I'll say that. Dark Ages said the earliest blackberries I've seen in the Pacific Northwest. Eating blackberries almost a month early. Our blackberries have been gone for over a month.
Now we've got a video.
But we do have some
showing on.
I got a trimming video coming up on trimming stuff.
I knew there was something. I kept trying to say.
I got that video coming up this week on trimming blackberries and different trees around. And Actually, one of our blackberries, because of the variety, still has berries on it.
Yeah. What about the quakes and steam vents in the
Grand Tetons. This is all caused by all the planets ended up on one side of the sun, plus the solar minimum, plus the fact that our magnetic sphere is weak around the Earth right now because the sun is supposedly what they call going to sleep, which breaks down our magnetic sphere and causes all this kind of stuff to begin to happen, guys. This is nothing unusual. These things have happened before. Go back and Google solar minimums, grand solar minimums, Dalton minimums, Maunder minimums, and look at the historical graphs of how these things work, and you'll see that we are actually headed into another good solar minimum. We're just at the beginning stages of it, though, now. We're only like a year and a half into it. We got 15 more years to go. So it's going to progressively get worse before it gets better. I don't have that long of life left to live to see the other end of it, so I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, we just want to be able to grow what we can grow, and so we're trying to figure out what will grow. And Danny talks about that in All God's Children, and we're not going into that.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Because we keep hitting on those subjects.
Yeah, we keep hitting on those subjects. We got to quit. Well, yeah. So it's just getting where it's
Edward Healy says he noticed the sunrise and sunsets in different degrees in the sky. Yes.
Yes. Actually, this afternoon we saw our sun was in a different place than it was a week ago. That was quite unusual.
Lemon Pot says we are cold here, then hot, then cold, back hot. They're just bouncing back and forth.
We hadn't seen cold in I don't know what.
2.5, 3 months.
About 2.5, 3 months.
Because it was actually cooler longer this year.
It was. It really was.
And then when it turned hot, it just turned hot.
Yeah, we didn't have a spring. It just went from winter to summer. Let's see here. Where are we at here?
I'm not sure if anybody's asked anything else. Back to Eden.
Have you ever tried hay bale planting? No, because here it won't work. Fire ants would take it over, and you would have absolutely nothing.
Roxanne said back to Eden was not working in North Carolina. She does better with beds 4x10 with cinder blocks and a compost. Yeah. And Homestead Hippie says their sun is rising at 4:30 in June. Wow.
Ours rises at 5:30.
I don't get up that early to know.
Yeah, ours rises at 5:30. I'm up every morning watching it.
Somebody said, are you going to teach hay bale planting? No, because we don't do that.
Nope, we don't do that here.
Are you going to start your fall gardening?
I will.
In about a month?
No, it'll probably be the end of September.
But we're going to be getting the beds ready.
We'll be getting things ready.
About a month.
Yeah.
Everything should be coming out within the month.
Yeah.
The rattlesnake beans has got to stay till they dry. And in the big garden, we're letting some of the pink-eye purple holes go.
We're letting the purple holes go to seed right now. The rattlesnake beans are going to seed right now. Red rippers are going to seed right now. Corn's going to seed right now.
You pulled most of the corn and stuff up out of the front garden, right?
I still got some to go.
And then the okra's still producing.
The okra's still producing.
Well, it's producing. It's still
the
there.
okra's still growing. It's going to be 20 feet tall before
we're going to have to bend it over to cut it off if it makes anything.
Hello, Amanda. She said she lost track of time.
We're going to have to get on to her.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you start seed or direct sow for your fall garden? We usually direct sow most of the time. We direct sow most of everything that we do because it's almost impossible to start seeds here because of the heat. It's just too hot.
It's too hot.
The greenhouse is probably 150 degrees most days. It's actually got corn drying in it right now.
Yeah, we have corn drying. Matter of fact, we had to go and actually take all of our corn out of the bottom field down here because of the animals. So they're just not leaving alone. But I wanted to show them the where we at here. This is our pepper seeds. We talk about saving seeds. We got pepper seeds here we're saving. We're trying to save as many seeds this year as we can because We are in the process of literally, just trying to get ahead. I wanted to show y'all this corn here. This is what we pulled out of the front garden. We showed y'all that earlier, but we're letting it dry so that we will have some of these type of seeds, the White Eagle Cherokee corn, which I'm sure would have done real good if we had not planted it the way we did.
Probably.
If we had planted it in rows like we normally plant corn, I'm sure it would have done fantastic. But because we tried to do the Cherokee way and do the three sisters planting corn in a circle, we didn't get any good pollination on it. So,
Do we plant collards? Yes.
Yes, we do.
That will be this fall. The collards, the greens, all that comes in the fall. Hopefully
everybody, different ones here, Surviving Life is saying they're saving seeds also like crazy.
Yeah. If you can, you need to learn to save seeds. We have a seed saving playlist.
Yeah.
Danny's pretty much, not this year, but last year and the year before, done things like saving seed from asparagus, tomatoes, peppers, squash, cucumbers, peas and beans. I mean, he's done all kinds of seed-saving videos.
Okay. Firefly Moon Pie says, having any problem with snakes? Yes, we've had more moccasins this year than we normally do. That's simply because of the pond right next door to us. It's kind of growed up around it, and we're trying to keep as much of it cut down and as we can. We saw one coming out of our corn the other day when I went down there. I killed one by the chicken house. We lost 5 turkeys to 1. So, yeah, they're starting to show up around here.
Scratch Maid wants to know, hey, Scratch, anyway, how is the Kogon grass experiment? We are
going to be shooting a video on that.
We were supposed to have done it this morning.
But time got away from us and heat got to us before we could get it shot. But we do have a video coming up about that.
Kathleen said her 8-year-old has fallen in love with gardening this year so much that started using her birthday money to buy plants when they go to the feed and seed. She's bought blueberries and Marion's. Marion's is tomatoes, I think.
I think that, yeah.
And see, we found kids do enjoy this. When Amanda from Freedom Acres was here, even Sunshine, she loved just putting those seeds in the ground. And we gave her a little bitty handheld hoe, and she sat there playing in the dirt with that. I mean, they just want to be able to learn how to do something. Yeah,
Amanda says she's not going to do it again either, the Cherokee garden. She says it's fun to plant, but she's not going to do it. So
yeah.
Let's see here. There was one. The country homestead preacher said they're trying to learn how to save seeds. It's an art. Some seeds have to be fermented in order to break down the gel coating on the outside of them, and we have videos on all that. If you go back through our playlist, you'll find them.
Yeah, it's called Seed Saving Videos. It's a Marion berry.
Yeah.
Not a tomato, a berry.
A berry. Okay, Mike, Steve, Matt, Kat, Kelly, Rachel, I'll get them all here in a minute. 5G is always making adjustments. Guys, I could get off on 5G. No, I probably better not, because 5G is
we have less than 10 minutes. You can't do that.
5G is straight out of pit of hell. I'm just going to say that.
And leave it at that.
I've never heard of Marion berries. I don't know what they are.
No, I'm not either. So
I'm sure it may be just a variety.
Sandy Spade says one of her tomatoes from her garden had sprouts inside the tomato when she cut it open. Now that's a new one
on me.
Wow.
We had a potatoes that done that.
Yeah, that was weird.
And they're both in the nightshade family, so I could see where it would be possible.
Angela Blair said, this is Mrs. Naked Hog. Well, hey.
Hey, Mrs. Naked Hog.
Let's see. Last year I tried saving lettuce seeds. Such a pain. So hard to use tweezers.
So small, had to use tweezers.
Danny puts on a sack.
I put them in a paper bag and let them dry and just beat the devil out of it.
Yeah, and then pour them out into something.
Charlotte says she's saving her some Cherokee purple tomato seeds. We saved some this year, and sad enough, We did not get to save many of our Amish paste because we actually used them all before we thought about it.
I saved some a couple
We saved
of times.
some.
Not what we usually do.
Enough to plant them again if we had to. But I've got tons of them still.
Yeah. But like last year, he saved seeds on top of seeds on top of seeds of it, the Amish paste. And we just didn't do it. We were in such a hurry trying to get the tomatoes done when we were doing things till we didn't even think about it. I did twice.
Marionberries is a blackberry. Okay.
Okay, I was wondering if that was what
Danny, do you have goji berries? No, we do not have goji berries here. We've got enough other kind of berries. We don't need them, I guess.
Grandma Rose says she's
seen cotton sprouting inside the bowl.
Now my cotton is about 2 foot tall and it has little cotton bolls starting on it. So if it starts popping up and the flowers come, I'll shoot some pictures up and make a video. Mr. Arnie said, I had snakes in my pond until a big snapping turtle moved in. I haven't seen a moccasin in 3 years. Now, we saw
a big snapping turtle in the road up here.
You did. I did.
Yeah.
That's the first time in a long time. Used to, when I was a kid, you saw snapping turtles all the time. But when Danny mentioned it the other day, that's the first time in 20 years I've heard about a snapping turtle.
Marilyn says, my ears of corn are bending like a banana bursting out of the tops of the husk. That's because the cob is outgrowing the shucks on it. That usually happens if it rains too much. Yeah.
Danny, are you going to use ground cover for your fall garden?
I would like to if I financially can.
We're debating on possibly doing that.
Amanda says her peppers have grown new peppers inside the other pepper.
Now we've had that a time or two.
Yeah.
I've cut a pepper open and there'd be a little small one inside it. Notice the pictures missing from behind us. Danny did All God's Children today, and you see I've got the All God's Children.
Yeah, there's the All God's Children sign up there.
I forgot. We went to Landrum's, and I hadn't even mentioned that. But these, I had these up there too. These came off the peacock at some point in time, and I didn't take them off the peacock.
She chased that peacock down and pulled his tail feathers out. You should have seen the squawking that was going on.
No, I did not. They had these for sale in the gift shop or the general store.
The general store. There's no gift shop.
So I picked up a couple of the big ones with the eyes on them, and then this little one here, like this, because I wanted peacock feathers. I really think I'd like a peacock.
She wanted the peacock around here, but I don't know if I can listen to that.
We're just not sure we want the peacock running around making that loud racket. But I just think it would be pretty to have a peacock walking around with his pretty feathers. I guess I have to settle for the turkeys.
You're going to have to settle for the turkeys right now. Their tail feathers are not pretty right now. So they're kind of bad looking. Everybody says, shame on you, Danny, for doing that.
Yeah.
Oh.
I chased them around taking pictures of them.
She was taking pictures of them. She was wanting that peacock to bust his tail feathers out where she could take a picture of it, but I think he was kind of game to that.
Hey, Charmel, she made it in.
Freedom Maker says, how far is Landers from y'all? I'd love to take the little one on a day there for demonstrating. It's about an hour and 15 minutes.
If you don't get lost.
If the bridge ain't out like it was.
The bridge isn't out.
Yeah, stuff like it's about an hour and 15 minutes.
It took us.
One way.
We got within sight distance of the place, and
the bridge was out.
And we had to go all the way back, find an alternate route, and come around. Wasted about 20 more minutes.
Yeah.
On that, and so.
That's one of them things.
I'm not sure when they do the demonstrations. We would have to call. I
don't know if they do them on the weekends.
I don't know if they do them every Saturday or if they have special times that they do the demonstrations. But we can call and ask.
Hike with Mike says, you ever grow conch peas?
I've heard of them, but I don't.
Never growed them.
One says peacocks are horrible to listen to. Rather have the guineas. Danny wants guineas, so at some point in time,
I would rather have the guineas. Guineas clean up a lot of insects around the place, ticks and stuff like that. Plus, they're just good watchdogs, you know.
Yeah, so we're thinking that's something. Love seeing the video at Landrum's. Yeah, we had a ball there. It's really nice place. If you come to Mississippi,
it would be nicer in the fall, but I mean it was getting hot. As a matter
but it's under trees. It's not hot. I mean, the sun wasn't bearing down on, put it that way. It was getting warm.
It was getting warm.
And they keep it. It's very neat, very well kept place. It's not run down at all. The people are super friendly, and we had the run of the place.
We were the only ones in there.
And they said their busiest times are in the fall and in the spring because they have a lot of kids that come through. They bring the school kids, and that's their biggest thing is to show the kids how things used to be. And if you're ever in Mississippi, check out Landrum.
Check them out.
They're open 6 days a week, but they don't do the demonstrations. But I'm not sure if they do it every weekend or if it's like, certain times. We'll just have to figure that one out.
Danny, how much milk would you say a Dexter produces?
I don't know. We hadn't milked one yet.
Haven't milked one yet, but research says that they can produce up to 1 gallon a day.
Yeah.
Which is more than I'll ever use.
There's Four Hearts Ranch. Hello.
Oh.
The church was beautiful. They do weddings. If somebody wants to get married at a beautiful place, Landrum Country does weddings in the church plus in that one cabin. You can have your choice of either one. And it's just a beautiful place. It's really, really nice. And they do all kinds of group tours. If you have a bunch of people you want to go at a certain time, you can call and set it up. I'm
gonna get sleepy here.
And the fun house, the mystery house. Now that was fun.
That was fun. I had a blast just watching Wanda.
I have no coordination, and when I tried walking, all I could do was go to the wall.
She just kept running into the wall. And I told her, I got to get this on film.
So, I tried it, and I felt like I was drunk, and all I wanted to do was go to the wall. And
it didn't bother me. My sense of balance used to be so perfect. That's why I could work so high in the air that I just walk right through it. But Wanda, every time she'd walk in there, she'd just start leaning into the walls.
What do you recommend for helping peppers produce more? What helps peppers?
What helps peppers produce more? Magnesium sulfate, 1 tablespoon per gallon of water. You spray it on the plant.
What's the other name for that?
Epsom salt.
There you go.
Epsom salt. You
he
get it
uses these big fancy words, and
you can get it at Walmart. You get it at the pharmacy, wherever.
Just
dollar store.
Epsom salt.
Just buy you some Epsom salt from the dollar store. 1 tablespoon per gallon of water, or either sprinkle 1 tablespoon around the total span of the plant. Water it in. That's usually a sign that they need magnesium.
Okay, so Beth wants to know. She says she's trying to decide whether it's worth getting one to have fresh milk for the cream. I don't know yet.
Well, because that's what we want it for, is the cream for the butter.
I want the butter and the
cheese and stuff like that. Yeah.
Someone told me to pinch off the first flower; they'll branch out the peppers. Yes.
Actually, when a pepper is really young, about someone say 6 to 8 inches tall, if you'll cut the top out of it, it'll actually branch out and make a more sturdy plant than it would if you just let it grow tall and straight, and it'd be less apt to break over, and you get more peppers per plant.
Courtney says she gave her son Epsom salt as a laxative. He's not a fan.
No, it is a good laxative now. As long as you don't take too much of it. You can actually bathe in it. There's lots of things you can do with it. It's good for cramps.
Yeah, somebody's saying peacocks are aggressive.
Yeah, especially the males are, not the females. The males are just very aggressive.
Real calm, walk around. There must have been 5 or 6 of them at least in different places. There was the cat. The cat followed us everywhere we went.
Yeah, that cat was.
It's a wonder he wasn't in every picture because
he was under our feet. That's why.
He was right there everywhere we went.
Ray Valley says, is that Pioneer Village in Barberville, Florida? No, it's in Laurel, Mississippi.
Yeah.
Do we store our seeds in a freezer after drying them out? Some seeds we do, like corn. We keep corn in the freezer. We'll put our peas in the freezer for about 2 weeks to kill the worms in them. But basically, that is the only seeds we ever put in the freezer. We don't really store any of the other ones in the freezer.
Hello, Angie's Pantry. Grandma Rose says she has a video on why pinching the top makes the plant branch out.
Yeah.
So y'all might check out Grandma Rose.
Well, like a pepper plant, if you leave the top in it, all the hormones in that plant go straight to the top of that plant. So you have to, if you pinch the top out of it, then it causes the hormones to actually spread out in the plant. That's just a simple way of putting it, in layman's terms. What's Jen mean? Haha, love cats.
Danny loves cats.
No. No. That would be the furthest thing from the truth.
Do you eat flowers from the mimosa tree?
No, we don't.
No. Christy says she has peacocks and they're wonderful if you raise them from babies. These must have been raised from babies.
Yeah, they were probably raised from babies. They had turkeys in pens. Yeah, we did see all.
Pigs,
we
goats.
saw the big turkeys too.
Yeah, they had pigs and goats. They had a whole little farm
system. They had a little farm system. We just didn't go in the farm thing because they have a little machine there you can put money into and you get feed and you go in and feed the animals. We didn't do that.
We just have our own animals.
I have my own animals to feed. I don't need to feed nobody else's. Yeah.
Yes, Pia, I think I answered you. Check and see. I didn't get it till maybe this morning sometime. We've been so busy I hadn't been checking messages like I should. Angie said her Danny corn
is about knee-high but not very strong stem. Is that a bad thing? Yeah, it sounds like you're low on nitrogen. When it's knee-high, when it's 8 inches tall, you're supposed to be dumping ammonium sulfate to it. And when it's knee-high, you're supposed to be dumping ammonium sulfate to it again. So my corn requires lots of nitrogen. I knew this question was coming up. Lisa said, how's Hank? Hank's asleep on the porch right now.
Yes, we don't want to wake him. But he's been doing really good. He's going to be in several videos because you can't keep him out of the way.
Yeah.
He's in the sweet potato one, I believe.
I think so, yeah.
I think he's in that one.
I think he's in that one.
If not, he'll be in the next one. He's in the one where Danny's trimming the
tree. No, the blackberries.
Blackberries,
yep.
Because we couldn't keep him out of that.
Keep him out of that one.
When we were pulling weeds and stuff, he was all over the place, but I didn't film that, I don't think, today. I've got pictures of him with the pigs. He's running in and out of the chicken pen. He got stuck in the chicken pen. I forgot to tell you.
Oh, I didn't know
He ran
that.
in the wrong room. We had 2 rooms.
Okay.
And he ran in the second room. And I kept calling him, and the chickens were in between me and him, and he wouldn't come out. So I had to go around to the other way and open the back door and let him out because he refused to come through the chickens. I think one of them pecked him today.
Angie says, where do you buy that at, Danny? You can get it at any feed store or anything like that. They should have it. And don't go to Walmart and buy the organic blood meal because blood meal is not high enough in nitrogen. Even though it is nitrogen, it's not high enough for corn. Let's see here.
Your daughter said, did you see the snake we had in our yard today, the black racer? I did.
I didn't. I don't ever look at Facebook.
Naked Hog says, do I still have time to grow Seminole pumpkins?
Oh, that would be...
We planted some Cherokee ones, what, a month ago? They're running everywhere.
They're running everywhere, but they haven't bloomed yet. So it depends on where you live at.
Four Heart Ranch says they have the cotton seeds. They haven't planted them, don't know when and where. Cotton seeds need to be planted in May, middle to end of May.
Middle to the end of May, exactly.
And don't plant them about a foot and a half apart, and just keep the weeds away from them. Mine did great last year. Mine are fixing to bloom this year. I planted the brown cotton that Jen at the Nut House, her dad, Marlon, gave me. So we're going to have some brown cotton this year if it produces.
Yeah, Tammy's Dirty Boots and Country Life said she noticed leaves changing color and falling off the trees here in North Carolina too early. Solar minimum, she's asking the question, more than likely, the fact that we went from extremely cold to extremely hot is taking its toll on all the trees. As a matter of fact, I don't know how long you've been in here, but I can show you this is what our peach tree is looking like right now. The leaves are all turning yellow and falling off. We actually have maple trees right now that all the leaves have turned red on already. So
yeah, about 2 weeks ago.
About 2 weeks ago, the trees are solid red. Looks like the dead of fall, you know.
And Jim wants to know what is the number for nitrogen for the corn. I'm guessing that
30 dash 30-0-0.
And your Jennifer says happy early birthday.
Oh, happy early birthday. Okay.
He has a birthday on the 24th.
Next week. One day next week, whatever day that is. I don't know.
Angie said, I had a tomato worm ate most of my plants. Should I cut off the part that it ate? Husband killed the yucky worm.
No, you don't have to cut it off. I mean, because if there's any places there for a sucker to sprout back out, it'll actually come back out and keep growing.
Courtney says they can't grow cotton in Texas.
It's probably like it was in Mississippi for the many years. It was illegal to grow cotton in Mississippi because of the boll weevil.
Question for Gardening 101. Can you discuss the crop rotation, please?
And one of them I will.
Yeah.
Yeah, this coming one, I think I'm going to do it on tomatoes.
What will you do with the cotton you grow? I really haven't done anything with it. Last year I harvested quite a bit of cotton, and it was the green cotton, and I have sold the seeds. I've still got a little bit left, but over the past year I have sold a lot of it for seeds for people that wanted to grow cotton.
Oh, Tammy said her birthday is on the 26th, 2 days after mine. We were birthday buddies.
And
Brian from the Lori Family Homesteads is actually the 25th.
Yes.
So that's 24th, 25th, and 26th. We're all birthday buddies. Courtney says my husband's is the 26th and my youngest son's was the 20th. So we're going to take up the whole week here if we ain't careful.
All right. Edward says he has a maple tree turning colors in upstate New York. See, this is July. This is not September.
I know, and everything. Well, Amanda, she said it started to look like autumn there too, and it could be the simple fact that it's just that dadgum hot that it's scorching the trees.
Okay, Jen says the brown cotton is the Mississippi brown heirloom.
Yeah.
They crossed it until they got it
Only white.
Yes, this is one of the originals. Cotton hasn't always been white, guys.
Oh, Firefly Moonpie says theirs is the 24th. All great people were born on the 24th.
Or the 21st of September.
Or the 21st of September, yeah.
I've already had a couple people say they were born in the same day I was.
Oh, my youngest son's birthday is the 25th. Look, we got a lot of people here that's born in the, Get to the Farm says it's the 27th. My son is the 19th. That was our wedding anniversary, the 19th, Homestead Hippie.
Does your maple turn usually in September?
Usually it's October here because it doesn't get cold until October.
And Azaline said they had frost that hurt their plants in June in Nova Scotia.
Actually, I was looking in Nova Scotia. Y'all actually lost half of your blueberry crops. Y'all lost a lot of your stuff to that late frost.
Oh, Red Duchess planted brown cotton too. I just saw something and it went.
Somebody there just said it frosted on them on July the 4th.
Wow.
Oh, man. My birthday was yesterday. Man, everybody was born 23rd. There's another one. Said theirs was the 23rd. Papa's truck.
Another one said, Angie says her maple tree in her front yard is turning yellow, and she lives in Michigan.
Well, that would be normal for Michigan. Did you get a late frost? The leaves on the trees are falling here. Wondering if the trees were affected by it. We did not get a late frost here.
Four Hearts Ranch. You'll have to contact me, and I'll have to see if I still have some brown cotton seeds. I think I only planted just a few. And we'll see. Send me an email at deepsouthhomestead@gmail.com.
Valerie says her birthday is September the 20th.
Yes.
Courtney says mine is September the 20th, and my mama's was the 21st.
See?
July the 24th is Tuesday. Happy birthday, Danny. Thank you so much. My birthday is July the 26th. I will be 70.
And Pea says the 27th September is hers and her brother's is the 21st. See, everybody's, wow, you know, that's just pretty cool.
Mine's September the 23rd, David said. I mean, see here, a lot of y'all was born the same time we were. Wow.
Andrew says it's not normal for her that theirs usually turn in September too. So
okay.
It is kind of weird. We have some weird freaking weather. We're harvesting early, and, you know, the whole thing's kind of crazy. It just really is. The weather's crazy.
Jump Off says my wife's the 26th, my sister's the 14th, and my daughter's is the 24th. Wow.
Okay, it's strange because all the other trees are green as could be. New Day says, please pray for good neighbors. Land next door for sale. One man wants to put in a shooting range. Oh, that sounds like our dog.
Sounds like our
we're praying for good neighbors too.
We're praying for a good neighbor too. Our obnoxious neighbors over here, yeah, with their ignoramus, stupid dogs. Breakaway says Ice Age. Well, it's quite possible we're running into a mini ice age. They call it a mini ice age or a solar minimum.
How do we
Homestead.
know when to harvest?
How do we know when to harvest corn? Corn is usually ready once it breaks and falls completely straight down, is hanging on the stalk, and it hangs there until it's dry and there's no moisture left in it whatsoever.
That's if you want dry corn. Now, if you want to, how would they know to harvest it?
I harvest mine when the silks on the top of the corn is completely dead and brown, and I can reach up at the very top of my finger and I mash in on it and I hear the kernels pop on the inside. Then I know it's ready for eating.
For fresh corn.
For fresh corn. Jam at the Nut House says, are they selling? No, they're not selling. We just...
Why don't you just buy it?
Why don't you just make them an offer so that they can't refuse?
I don't know what I'd do if she was here. We
would get nothing done.
No, she would make us do stuff. She's like Amanda.
Yeah, she's like Amanda. She'd
be going, okay, what are we doing now? What are we doing now?
Yeah.
We'd be constantly busy.
Yeah.
When was the last solar minimum? I don't know.
Oh, gosh.
I don't know when the last one was.
I've looked at so much stuff about the solar minimum that I don't even actually remember when the last solar minimum was.
It's ever so many years.
It's been like 100-something years ago, I think.
It kind of goes. Yeah. Wasn't it when the Mississippi River ran backwards? Is that the one?
It was in the 1800s. Yeah, somewhere back in there. Linda Seagrave says, yeah, I know why so many July birthdays. They were conceived in cold weather. People trying to stay warm. That's exactly why.
Yeah, and all
so many September babies is because
people celebrating